Agriculture Minister explains purported abuse of funds. Climbers reach breathtaking summit for charity. 2 conferences make up New-look NSL Competition. Good evening and thanks for joining us for National EMTV News. I'm Kilawani. Agriculture Minister John Simon has come out to clear the air on the 24 million funding paid out by the department in the past 18 months. A list of department expenditure circulating on social media triggered the minister to put a stop to all payments made by the department. The minister has also made known that DAL Secretary Daniel Kombuk has not been suspended or sidelined. However, steps are being taken to investigate the matter.
About 22 million. I was shocked. The money is gone.
Speaking yesterday, the Agriculture Minister said of the 22 million kina funding, a huge chunk was paid to private companies as listed. Minister Simon said the funding is meant to support small farmers throughout the country. He says he had called for an audit earlier this year.
My office at least sees my ministerial allocation. That's when I call for an audit. When I call for an audit, that's when the relationship, the working with the secretary is sort of a pull apart. And no one wants to listen to the minister anymore. Minister doesn't have the power. We have the power. We are the section 32, not the minister. Fair enough. So they were running the department on their own. Because I called for an audit.
The Agriculture and Livestock Minister has distanced himself, stating his relationship with the Secretary Daniel Kombuk hangs in the balance. He has not sidelined or suspended the Secretary but maintains that proper process will be followed to investigate and hold those responsible. Minister Simon said workers started to investigate the matter.
I have to, according to his contract, give him notice to show cause, which I did. And 7 days was up last Monday. He didn't even reply to my 7 days notice. He should have given me notice, my reply back on Monday. He came back to me on a Tuesday, which is after 7 days. Fair enough. But I just followed the whole process.
On record, another 50 million kina has been put forward by the government for agriculture projects in the country. Minister Simon said the government is keen to embrace the role of the sector, but abuse is also rife. He maintained that prudent measures will be followed to develop the sector.
This government is not about misusing and abusing money. We are serious in what we are saying. We are serious of saying taking back Papua New Guinea through agriculture. And we want to see that happen. The Prime Minister is really serious about this. And Prime Minister did not make a mistake to appoint me to oversee the department.
The concerned 22 million kina funding falls under the PIP program. Jagla Power Jr. National EMTV News.
While resources may be scarce and limited funding allocated, building infrastructure for development may be a mammoth task for different levels of government. Northfly MP James Donald says building enablers of development is key for provinces like Western. MP Donald said the 5-year provincial plan outlines that and it's pushing DDAs to work with stakeholders to bring vital services to communities.
Northfly MP James Donald is optimistic if key infrastructures are built, other services will follow soon. He made his statement following the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Kiunga Airport Terminal. MP Donald says, given the limited funding allocated by the national government, prioritizing is key.
Communication is one, rural airstrips, roads, bridges. What we think is probably that's more important at this 5 years that we need to do. If we need to continue into the second term, we will have to do it. So maybe the real phase of development you will see after next term, which means now proper health, so that will happen. But now, purely enablers that we want to really focus.
The new Kiunga Airport upgrade is the most recent key infrastructure for Western Province. The MP revealed that the new airport terminal will be equipped with the latest scanning and detecting device for aviation and security measures. The Kunga terminal upgrade is jointly funded by PNG SDP, North Flight District and other stakeholders to the tune of 4 million kina.
Immediate need to have a facility that will cater to counter mainly the flow of traffic with proper facility. We have everything that we want to do. And more so, now you know that we have what we call the current global pandemic.
Western is one part of the country where services are hardly visible. While there are significant collaboration and financial support from stakeholders, the first-time MP believes more can be achieved if partnerships are strengthened. MP Donald is confident Western Province will see a shift in its development trend.
Under the Western Province Development Plan, you hear us sort of flagging that we've got education, health, agribusiness and enablers. So enablers are those key enablers. That's why, of course, we're not going to be pleasing everyone the way they want, but where we think is key indicators, such as those enablers, is what we need to do.
Jack Lepava Jr., National EMTV News.
Lecturers from the Agriculture Department at University of Technology were in Jiwaka Province recently conducting agricultural and life skill training for farmers in Anglip South Wagi electorate. This was in partnership with the Anglip South Wagi Inland Fish Farmers Cooperative. Locals were taught how to make stock feed using local food as a way of generating income.
The training was one of UOT's community roles to bring back knowledge to the villages and supply information to the rural majority. According to the research done by the university's agriculture department, they have identified financial burden on rural farmers in terms of buying stock feed for the livestock and the transportation cost. This has made them to pass on knowledge for free so that farmers can make their own stock feeds at a cheaper cost.
Our whole university and the agriculture department and all the 13 departments there, we want to go out to the villages to bring the information down. Unless and until we get our village people developed, we may not be talking about Papua New Guinea.
Anglip South Wagi Fish Farmers Cooperative Society wrote to Unitec requesting their expertise. More than 100 local farmers in the electorate graduated with certificates from Unitec after the week-long training.
Come down to community level na conduct more training. Line mo lao by only sustainable yet come up farmer or lo locality more something or animal na live him this life lo community me look him really me touch him I'm really sense him also.
Locals were taught to make stock feed from cow and tapioca for their piggery, poultry, fish, cow and duck farms. Women were also taught to make decorations using material and floriculture.
And help me along school fee, and help me along a changing community, and help me along legal future, people live surviving life on the ground.
The District Development Authority pledges their support to continue to fund more of such trainings to keep the youths out of trouble and families busy earning a living.
Try and help, step in to help them facilitate the training so that we will help our people. So this is very good training. I think we need more of this training in the province and the districts.
Vasanatha Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Among stories after the break, EMTV reporter Martha Lewis and volunteers in Medang climbed to the summit of Mount Kanagio. Stay with us for the details. Welcome back to the news. The National Volunteer Service celebrated National Volunteers Day today. Since its inception in April 1990, the day was gazetted to be celebrated as a national event by Parliament in 2008. Volunteers are sourced nationwide to offer their expertise in nation building. And as part of celebrations marking the day, the organization launched its online application forms.
Since its inception in April 1990, the National Volunteer Service has been registering volunteers manually. National Volunteer Service acts as a mechanism to fill in gaps in areas where the normal government services are hard to reach. NVS recruits professionals who willingly sacrifice their careers to provide volunteer services. The commemoration ceremony was made significant with the launching of its online application forms for the first time. Both application forms were designed last November and will be used to register interested volunteers.
These two forms are the expression of interest forms and the partner organization forms. Both of these forms are designed over 8 months. Yeah, actually we started off with a training. I think it was back in November last year. And then we worked our way through to design these forms, and these guys were trained, about 12 of them. They already have a hands-on experience on how to design online forms, and they got it all on the Field Task app.
Program Director Jacqueline Crewantis says the online application will be tested on a trial basis and will be amended as they go along.
This is a new thing to us, and we are counter-attacking, or we are adopting this with open-minded. We are not, saying that it's perfect and everything will be perfect, but it's a learning process as we go.
Despite the online application forms, Crewantis says they will still do manual registrations.
We will still keep them, and we all understand that Papua New Guinea is still in this phase, and we will still continue to use paper application forms. But for those that are, advancing a little bit faster, this is their platform to actually convert.
The link will soon be made available on the website. Porivai, National EMTV News.
An integrated water supply and sustainable energy project was successfully delivered to the people of Imuagoro village in Rigo, Central Province. The project was implemented by the Climate Change Development Authority with funding and technical support from the European Union. This project will ensure the people have access to basic water supply and reduce their vulnerability against climate change impacts.
The Integrated Water and Sustainable Energy Project was implemented by the Climate Change Development Authority in partnership with the European Union. In Imuagoro village, 9 solar street lights were installed throughout the village. With the water source intake identified, a solar pumping system was installed with piping network and water collection points completed. A solar refrigerator was also delivered to the community aid post. The project was officially commissioned by the Climate Change Development Authority and other stakeholders last week.
It's been a very long journey since the start of the project back in 2017. And I also want to acknowledge the work of my predecessor for initiating this project. And I'm happy to, together with my team here, I'm happy to be here to finally commission this.
Imuagoro village is one of 3 villages chosen for the implementation of this project. The other 2 villages include Kalo and Kiapara villages in Rigo district. In Kiapara village, over 80 water tanks were successfully delivered and commissioned last week. However, the Kalo project site was declared failed due to delays in the progress of activities. The project targets villages that are vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, and it aims to reduce their vulnerability by providing reliable integrated water and sustainable energy.
With the support that the European Union have given, this much needed intervention will at least in a little way improve the livelihoods of our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, and of course all the young folks in the village.
Whilst implementing the project, there have been a lot of challenges, and these include funding challenges as they had to work on limited funding. With the project now completed in 2 villages, they are seeking support from the district and provincial administration to help complete the incomplete activities for Kalo village.
For some of the challenges that we went through and some of the things that we may have not done, but I'm happy to say that after, even with the extension, with the delay, we've been able to, together working with you, we've been able to finally deliver this project.
Rayan Lakingu, National EMTV News.
2 months ago, a team of volunteers in Medang started preparing to climb Mount Canagio on Karkar Island in an effort to raise funds for the Medang Provincial Hospital and Gaubin Lutheran Hospital. Dr. Sammy Thomas of Medang Provincial Hospital said both hospitals are in dire need of medical equipment and facilities, hence the funds raised will assist the hospitals. On Sunday, July 4th, the volunteer group, including EMTV Medang correspondent Martha Lewis, climbed to the top of Mount Canagio. Martha Lewis also filmed their journey and files this report.
They call themselves Friends of the Hospital, a group of volunteers who got together to raise funds for Medang Provincial Hospital and Gaubin Lutheran Hospital on Karkar Island. I joined them on this quest, and it took us 3 months to prepare for the Mount Canagio climb. This is how it all began last weekend. We set sail on 2 boats for Karkar Island last Saturday and arrived around 12 p.m. We got on a truck and made a 2-hour drive to Gamok village. Gamok is the remotest village on the island and is located at the foot of Mount Canagio, which is the island's highest peak, 1,370 meters above sea level. We were warmly welcomed by the villagers who hosted an appreciation ceremony. For the villagers, this was their first time to have guests in the village.
This plan also number 1 time. This plan walk about like come up inside long Medang na Karkar. Me plan now been expecting one plan along this plan been come up something.
At 3 a.m. on Sunday, we set out for the climb with 11 guides. We walked at a normal pace in the first 15 minutes of the journey, but our ability to endure the climb was tested as we ascended further. It tested our stamina and willpower to either give up or keep going. Amongst us were 3 police officers, Medang Senior Provincial Magistrate, including Dr. Sammy Thomas of Medang Provincial Hospital.
Hi. We're almost there, halfway there. One step at a time. We'll get there.
How are you feeling?
Really exhausted, but I know it's going to be worth it when you get to the top. So.
Along the mountain track, we split into groups based on our own speed and physical fitness. The first group reached the summit at 11:30 a.m. The second cluster made it to the top at 9 a.m. and the rest of the volunteers all made it to the top by 11 a.m. The 24 of us reached the summit and raised approximately 38,948 kina, excluding personal donations from families and friends. The Friends of the Hospital group was set up initially in 2020 to raise funds for Medang Provincial Hospitals, Cancer Unit and Cardiac Unit at the Accident and Emergency Unit. They did the Mount William climb, raising 54,000 kina, which was used to purchase vital medical equipment for the 2 units at the provincial hospital.
So last year, money we raising last year about 54,000 kina we raising. No Mount William climb. Now this money go model on hospital.
Yes, the main reason why we are assisting Gaubin is towards building the lab.
I'm no end long end. And team was stable similar by testing this la. We talking now the young man box and find something. We look tikim ya. Tikim man William. Tikim Canagio. Tikim. People go tikim na. Look listen. Tikim one one impress for Nigini. So by go long perhaps look what we plan. You know one of things like him. Team status.
The group is planning to climb Mount William next year and is encouraging Medang residents to join or support this drive to help our hospitals. The business community is also invited to support this worthy cause. Martha Lewis, National EMTV News, Medang.
Meanwhile, Island Elegance, a PNG-owned tailoring business in fashion, was one of the sponsors of the Friends of the Hospital Mount Canagio climb. Owner Jennifer Japheth says it is part of the company's social responsibility, adding that it is not about money, but helping others who need the services. They also gave away 20 of their new fashion Mary blouses to the women at Gamog Village.
Island Elegance was established in 2020 and prides itself in tailoring a variety of men's and women's wear, notably the Mary blouse. In just 1 year of operation, the company has ventured in fabric designs that will represent one of Papua New Guinea's provinces, Madang, through its Karkar designs. The designs will represent the unique culture and tradition on Karkar Island with the aim of promoting their way of living. Last weekend, the company gave back to the community 20 of its new shown Mary blouses to promote island fashion in PNG and the Pacific.
So, lo like him blooming, lo you plan, lo disali click walk, me give him 20 plan new plan, Mary blouse, lo all mama.
Meanwhile, the group of volunteers, Friends of the Hospital, also contributed and presented 3 bags of clothing and other items, including food rations, to the village for hosting them.
So this is yeah, I'm the community. So behind bar, big man people stop, people sit down on them now, but you plug and till.
Gamok Village is located at the foot of Mount Canagio on Karkar Island in Madang Province. Like many remote communities, it still lacks basic government services like proper roads, bridges, and access to medical services. Due to its remoteness, the schools and health centers here also need government attention, which the locals openly expressed.
So, there's really something now come up, people are looking, really something. And big something to muscle walking.
There is hope of turning this remote village into a tourism destination for mountain climbers. And with the right support, Gamok Village can benefit from the tourism industry. Martha Lewis, National EMTV News, Madang.
And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 US in the interbank market this morning. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina will buy $0.2775 US, $0.3660 Australian dollars, $0.3922 New Zealand dollars, and 29.95 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee and copper closed lower, cocoa closed higher, palm oil and copper closed higher, crude oil is trading higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and all ordinaries is trading lower. After the break, we'll look at stories making headlines overseas. Stay with us. Welcome back. Members of the Lay NHC Tenants Voice Incorporation have questioned the Housing Minister's delay in responding to their petition regarding housing issues. The association presented a 10-point petition in April this year to Housing Minister Justin Chechenko through Lay MP John Rosso. Chairman Dick Karim said the only action taken so far since presenting the petition was the suspension of the Lay NHC officers Matthew Limu and Andrew Augui.
Members of the Lay NHC Tenants Voice Incorporation presented a petition in April this year to the Housing Minister through Lay MP John Rosso. The petition had 10 points regarding housing issues. Chairman of the association, Dick Karim, said only 1 point in the petition was addressed. Mr. Karim claimed the association is yet to get a response in black and white from the Housing Minister.
The only item out of the 10 that was action was the 2 officers in Lay were suspended. And as to when the other 9 will be responded to, is the query that the members are still asking.
The points in the petition were listed in order of urgency for action, beginning with the call to stop all evictions in Lae. Points 2 and 3 were for transfer of titles to long-term tenants and review into illegal evictions of past long-term sitting tenants. Mr. Karim said NHE tenants in Lae are still getting eviction notices.
And then these evictions, we don't know whether it's coming out of Lae or from Mosby, but we know that the 2 officers in Lae are suspended, and how these eviction notices are coming in, that's another question.
For many families, illegal battles with the NHC over illegal evictions have been costly and stressful. Late Levi Kurakipa, a senior court sheriff in Lae, was a victim of NHC evictions who was vocal about NHC issues. Last month, he passed on.
Late Levi was one of the senior public servants. And then when he was evicted, he was not given any alternative place to stay. So as a result, he was a sick man, and he was forced to go and live at the settlement. And then that also led to the sudden passing on of Levi.
The group hopes to be the voice for people like late Kurakipa and many others who have gone through the same. Charlene Airy, National MTV News, Lae.
And MTV News contacted the Office of the Housing Minister, and he is yet to reply.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Egmak Rabaul Gurias have shut down Central Dabaris finals hope after defeating them in the round 6 of the Intercity Cup. Gurias beat the Dabaris in a close scoreline 26-24 to register their second win of the season. The Gurias will play their first home game against Gulf Iso at the Kalabong Oval this weekend.
I guess consistency this project.
The Rabaul Gurias started off the season with inconsistency in their AFS combination.
Did it get over?
An area of concern for the coaching staff. Due to player vaccination, players who refused to be vaccinated were dropped. This affected the team's preparation for the season with just one win under their name.
He does his own little...
After the loss against the Ella Wigman last week, the Gurias are in need of a better AFS combination with John Raggi Jr. and Connie Bennett in the AFS.
For the last 5 rounds, we've been trialing combination especially. I think they are picking up now. That's their third game together. So hopefully after this game, it's a good sign that they are picking up well, so we're looking forward for another good game next week.
With just 4 rounds left in the Intercity Cup competition, the Central Dabaris, despite determined in the race for the 2021 trophy, their finals hope is blurry after falling short by 4 points, losing to the Egmak Gurias on Saturday. Central Dabaris coach Gairo Pepenas, speaking to the media, expressed disappointment over the team's performance.
It's really simple errors that invited them into our 10-20. We're still having problems with our ruck area. We'll have to polish up on our ruck area, and same thing. We really need to work hard on delaying our tackles here. It's at this level, it's not acceptable. But
as the season nears its end, it is essential for teams to maintain a strong defensive play to secure a spot in the top 6. Gurias coach Marcus Kaugla says the team will strengthen its defense to hold off the Gulf Iso this weekend at the famous graveyard, the Kalabong Oval.
We need to fix them come next game, so we'll go back and then work on our defense, and maybe how we finish is really important. We'll be really happy to play there. Probably put a good show up in front of our fans.
Suli, Trukai Sports.
The Men's National Soccer League competition is scheduled for next weekend on the June 24th. The New-look NSL Competition will be played in 2 conferences with 7 teams in the Northern Conference and 7 teams in the Southern Conference.
The country's premier football competition, the National Soccer League, will kick off on July 24th as announced by the PNGFA competition department recently. The delay is due to certain requirements of NSL coaches and referees, refresher courses and managers workshop, and the launching itself must be in order before the start of competition. PNGFA and the competition department originally set the tentative date as July 17th, which is Saturday this weekend, as the proposed kickoff date for the NSL matches. The New-look NSL Soccer League competition will be played in 2 conferences, with 7 teams in the Northern Conference and 7 teams in the Southern Conference. In a media statement by the PNG Football Association, the competition department has currently conducted workshop for team managers in Lae for the Northern Conference teams and the same for the managers in the Southern Conference. The competition will be played under strict guidelines of COVID-19 and must be complied with health and safety procedures to be implemented in the 2 main playing venues, which will be the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium in Lae and the PNG Football Stadium in Port Moresby. Freli Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather details coming up next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Southern region, Port Moresby mostly fine. Daru, windy with brief squally showers. Kerema, partly cloudy with brief early morning showers. Alotau, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Popondetta, partly cloudy periods. In the Momase region, Lae, few showers. Medang, mostly fine. Wewak and Vanimo, partly cloudy with a few early morning showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, cloudy with some showers and thunderstorm. Kavieng and Kimbe and Buka, cloudy with a few showers. Kokopo, Rabaul, cloudy periods. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, few overnight showers, then morning fog. Goroka and Kundiawa, few showers, then morning fog. Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy with some showers, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus. With you always.
And that's been the news, sports on weather for Monday, 12th of July 2021. Pleasant viewing. Good night.